What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of State of the Steelers. We're looking at another film room breakdown. This time it's Russell Wilson preseason game 2 against the Buffalo Bills. Steelers end up taking the L on this one, 9-3. A couple of plays going back and forth. For the most part, though, in the first half, offense seemed to struggle. Russell Wilson was at the helm. He also seemed to struggle as well. But let's go and look at the film. Let's break it down. Let's see how bad did Russell Wilson actually do, and is he deserving of all the criticism that is coming his way? Let's break it down. Before we get into it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. You know what to do. Let's break it down. So this is going to be what we'll do is we'll watch the play and then we'll break it down afterwards. So obviously on this play, it looked like Broderick Jones got beat, but what's going on behind the play, so to speak, right? And in this game, obviously it's preseason. They're not going to be doing a lot to hide what they're doing as far as the defense goes. They did kind of do some things, not a lot, like I said, but here in this play, everybody's going to drop back. This is going to be a zone defense. And what ends up happening is you're going to end up having your receiver come across in the green, and he's going to come open, but unfortunately, Russell Wilson just doesn't have enough time here. Broderick Jones even gets an early jump, and he just can't do it. Now, let's see if, who would have been open at this time. I mean, like I said, the only thing you have right there is George Pickens kind of coming over the middle. There is a guy in front of him. However, if Russ has time, he's going to have to try to fit that in somewhere there. That's the only place that I can see unless he goes with the check down. But, for the most part, there isn't much there. And, he doesn't have much protection here either. As you can see, Broderick Jones jumped off early. And, he has that brace there on the right arm. Just no extension of the right arm. Even while he's running outside, he has it kind of bent in. It looks like it's definitely hurting him. Let me know in the comment section, guys. Would you guys rather see Broderick Jones sit out this game and let him heal up and be ready for week 1? Or do you want to see him in the preseason game? And if so, let's see him at the left side with the ones, right? I get it. Dan Moore don't want to try out anything at the, on the right side. But at the same token, like if we end up going Broderick Jones on the left and Fatuanu on the right come week 1, you're going to have tackles in positions and with the ones that, they haven't played or, in very many snaps in those formations up until this point. So let's get him some game time snaps. All right, let's watch the next play. So it's going to be a play action pass. Also, quite a bit of pressure. Looks like he was going to have George Pickens come open down to end there at the bottom. So let's watch this again. All right, so what ends up happening here, and this is another attack, or they're abusing Broderick Jones here. So the Buffalo Bills left defensive end here with a wide arrow. What he's going to do is he's going to just crash in on Broderick Jones, which is going to allow the safety and the middle linebacker. Those guys are going to blitz off the side behind him, and they're going to have – it's going to be a one-on-one situation with the fullback, or one-on-two situation with the fullback, and it doesn't end well. A lot of pressure in Russell Wilson's face. Man coverage. The one thing I also didn't like about this play was – the way Jefferson, he's got a 10 curl in. Now, when he curls in or turns around, he curls into the inside of the field. But it's also towards the defender. And so, I don't know. I just felt that was kind of weird. You guys will see it at the top of the play. So just a lot of pressure there. Broderick Jones is just, like I said, gets annihilated. Let's watch that again. He's getting pushed, crashed into the inside of the line, allowing these guys to get around, apply pressure. Russ has to step up. You can see it better here. You see what Broderick Jones is now way inside, and you have these two guys coming around against Jaylen Warren. It's not good. And unfortunately, let's go back a little bit. You'll see down here, George Pickens. He comes open on the double move. Safety's coming in. You have one safety over the top. He's going to end up, keeping an eye over Van Jefferson, because Van is going to kind of go towards the middle of the field, kind of occupying his space. And it's going to leave you one on one with George Pickens at the bottom, and he beats his man. Just didn't have enough time to get the ball out there. Let's check out the next play. This one's a quick, pass out to Cordell Patterson on the outside. Now, a lot of people were saying he was checking the ball down pretty fast, and I agree that was also the case. However, one thing I did like about Russ in these plays was he was able to read the defense quickly and check down when he needed to. You'll see here, there's nowhere to go with the ball. Everybody's covered. I know as the play continues, you're going to see Darnell Washington somewhat come open at the top of the screen, but the only reason he comes open is because Russ is delivering the ball to Patterson in the flat. Had he not done that, this corner on the outside at the top of your screen and the safety are going to be able to cover him. Not necessarily easily, but they're going to double cover him. And everybody else across the board is covered. There's nowhere to go with this ball. And I noticed this quite a bit throughout the plays with Russell Wilson. Now, I don't know if, there was something else, or maybe perhaps these plays were drawn up the way they were drawn up because of Russ being back there. I know that Arthur Smith mentioned in a press conference something to the effect that, the play calls may have been limited based on trying to protect Russ and some of the things he can or can't do, whether it be the injury or I don't know, ability and age. So, that's one of the things that I'm a little bit concerned about. Now, I'm not sure if you guys, for those that aren't aware, I also podcast on it used to be Behind the Steel Curtain. I apologize. It's now called Steel Curtain Network. I'll actually link my last podcast in the description so you can go and check that out. It was The Hangover. That was just a couple of days ago with me and Shannon White. Anywho, I'm part of Steel Curtain Network, and we have a source within the building. Jeff Hartman and Brian Anthony Davis, had a source podcast not too long ago where they spoke to our source from inside the Steelers building, who told us that it is a 45% chance that that Justin Fields could start over Russell Wilson. It's not even 50-50. It's a 45% chance. Take that for what it is. To me, that means that if Russ fumbles or stumbles a little bit and Justin Fields plays really, really well, there could be an opportunity for him to be starter week 1. This is more of a competition than it started out in training camp, apparently, and according to the source, that the chances or likelihood of Justin Fields starting week 1 was somewhere in the low teens. So for it to go from high single digits, low teens to about 45% chance, that's a big jump, and it's got to be for some reason. And just wanted to say that and let you guys know that. But breaking down this film here, it didn't seem like all these things were his fault, but maybe perhaps the design or the game plan, because of his limitations, is what is causing this team to struggle. But he made the right decision there, and he got the ball out quick. Let's check out the next play. Another sack. This again off the right side. So on this play here, you're going to have basically zone cover 2. You're going to have the corner on the outside at the bottom of your screen run up, and he's going to end up replacing the safety there who's running down. He's not doing the blitz or anything like that. Now, my favorite area is the seam when it comes to cover 2 zone. And in this play here, you're going to end up having both players that are running similar routes when they enter the seam area come pretty open. Even the middle of the field is wide open. So if Russ would have had time, this could have been a big game. So as you can see, the middle of the field is coming wide open. Your receiver that is heading towards the end zone is going to occupy the safety at the top, safety at the bottom of your screen, because they're running some sort of stunt where they were switching positions. is out of position when it comes to covering Van Jefferson at the bottom of your screen, and George Pickens at the top coming over the middle is also going to be open with only linebackers underneath. I mean, this could have gone the distance. If this ends up being a completion. Fortunately, as you can see, Roderick Jones, Russell Wilson under heavy, heavy pressure. Let's check it out from the opposite view here. Just kind of pushed him out of the way. All right, let's watch the next play. Now, a lot of people will see this play and think that, hey, maybe, he should have gone over the top. This seems like a check down, so to speak. And at first, I thought that too. However, if you notice, there's a safety up here at the top or at the left of the screen covering over. I believe that's Pat Fryermuth. The cornerback at the bottom of your screen has basically this zone area. So, if Russell Wilson doesn't throw it to George Pickens, he's actually honestly in position to drop back a little bit further to be in position to make a potential play behind him. Now, the only player that is coming open or that possibly will come open on this play is going to be Darnell Washington. I almost called him George. Darnell Washington at the top of your screen there. He's the only guy that is coming open, but I mean, you're basically having the same play or a very similar play run on both sides. And, Russ chose the left side. Maybe perhaps that was the design to go to George Pickens this entire time. But, Darnell Washington doesn't usually get a lot of looks. So in this situation, come game time, you're probably going to see a similar situation where Darnell's going to be left open because they're going to end up looking towards George Pickens more often than not. I think that's one of the things that made Mason Rudolph more successful towards the end of the season last year was the fact that he was willing to go and look at the places where players weren't getting the ball at, going against the tendency, so to speak. I think he even brought that up about Darnell Washington being a guy that they targeted on a specific play in a specific formation that was typically a run play that completely tricked and confused the defense. And it was mainly just going up against the tendencies that the Matt Canada offense had been putting out there. Now, in this play here, Russ finds, Van Jefferson in the middle. The only thing I don't like about this play is the fact that it just kind of takes him a little bit long to find him and to get the ball to him. Defense is going to be running just cover 2 zone. Everybody's going to be dropping back. Again, this is middle of the field seam here. It's where I like the this play here on vanilla defenses as well. It's anybody that plays Madden will know this. And to me, I think the ball needs to start coming out already. Russ is looking at the receivers down the field. I mean, maybe perhaps he's looking at some of the guys underneath. But if you see these guys right here, the Bills defensive players, all of them are facing Russ. All of them are just above where those receivers are crossing. I highly doubt he's looking at the underneath routes in this situation. If he's looking at that second level up at the top, the ball should be coming out already. Comes out just a little too late. I mean, it's still completion, still okay. I think that this ball here could have been thrown, and they're a little bit quicker. Maybe I'm being a little bit nitpicky, but in a game where he didn't have very many positive things, I am going to point out the things that aren't. I'm going to point out the things that are positive, and I'm going to also point out the things that maybe aren't so positive. And this is one of them. Even though it was a completion, I mean, the result of the play isn't what I was pointing out of. You know what I'm saying? Let's watch the next one. I believe this is the big play here. I still think this guy was in. I got a question for you guys. Also, let me know in the live in the comment section. You think he was in? And you know what? No. Let me rephrase this question. Let's not do that. Let me know in the comment section. Do you think Russ would be having the criticism he's having now if George comes down with this ball, or the referees call this a completion and the Steelers end up going up with a touchdown and he leaves the game with 7 on the board? Do you still think there's a lot of criticism against him? Let me know in the comment section. Now, what I like about this play, very good play. Everybody's just kind of running they're just running go routes. Everybody's running up the field. It's play action pass. And what Russ does is he looks to his right and then he transitions and looks to his left. He looks off the safety and throws an accurate ball, in my opinion, down the field where only George Pickens could catch it. I still say that was a catch. Well, I slowed it down here at the end. We'll check it out. I don't know. I think it was a catch to me. We'll never know. Unfortunately, in those preseason games, there's not as many camera angles as there are in the regular season. So it is what it is. Well, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. You like the information? Let me know what you think about Russ. Was it as bad as you guys initially thought or perceived? Could it have been better? Obviously, there's some players here that could have helped out as well and could have made this a lot easier of a job for Russ Wilson. Be interested to see how the Pittsburgh Steelers do this Saturday against the Detroit Lions. I'll see how the breakdown is when it comes to the number of snaps that Russ is going to get versus Justin Fields. Apparently, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to treat this third game as the normal third game of the preseason, where they're going to play majority of their starters. This is the tune-up game, the dress-up one. We might actually even see TJ and Cam. Be interesting to see those guys play. Haven't seen them in quite a while. Now we get to see this defense the way it's supposed to be just before the road games start in a couple of weeks. Well, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell if you haven't already done so. Until next time, peace.